Today I want to, oops, it's beeping. We'll talk about dash cam. Basically what this thing did, it detected a crash. I know it didn't crash, but because I tilted the device, the dash cam from Cycliq, too much that it thought because it's on a bike, it's a crash, meaning that little beeping sound you heard was a locked segment. Locked segment is something that is on your SD card, your micro SD card, something that's not erasable unless you reformat the whole SD card. That's when you would lose it, because this camera is continuously running and rewriting the SD card all the time. The only thing that's being saved are the segments that you either manually lock by hitting the Q button, the middle one, or because the device thinks you crashed, meaning you flipped over and it locks in and it gives you a little beeping sound. So that is really cool. Action cameras don't do that. They don't know when you're crashing. You have to actually turn them on, turn them off. And then also a big difference between these two guys is runtime. You press this guy and let it run 45 minutes, an hour maybe, only when it's warm, because these guys do not like cold weather. 7-hour runtime on the Cycliq Fly 12 dash cam, which is pretty fabulous. That's a long runtime if you do not use the light. This device comes with a light, which is absolutely phenomenal. I did some riding with it. I thought it was just going to be a visibility light where riders or drivers could see me. It was pitch black and I actually could see where I'm going. So maybe not, go off-roading with this guy, but it will get you home. It's an actual light. We're back. Let's have a look. I went to the right as far over as possible because I was like, I'm not going to get hit. There's no way I'm doing this. Now this is really hard to read. Cannot see. It's all block. The handlebars are blocking the thing, so I'd have another shot right there. Now if I go to pick 2, that is also, that's hard to read too. But this would be my best shot at it in that distance. Unfortunately, handlebars are blocking the license plate. Now for this test, I had the video set at 30 frames per second at 1440 pixels. Maybe the resolution was the problem, so I bumped it up to 2160, which is 4K at 24 frames per second. So I did a little test with this on my street. So on the right is the 4K, on the left is the 1440, and I honestly gotta say I didn't really see much of a difference. I feel like whatever you're gaining in higher resolution is the same thing that you're losing with motion blurriness when it's close by. So it's a give and take a little bit because the higher resolution does come at a lower frame rate. Now Cycliq has its own quarter turn locking device, and it kind of looks like the Garmin one, but it does not fit. So it does come with its own mount, so you have to use the Cycliq mount, the quarter mount, but it works really well, and it's quick and easy on and off, half turn or quarter turn, I guess. So it comes with a lanyard, so if you case it pops off, it doesn't fall on the ground. On the opposite sides of the buttons, you have a little flap that's like waterproof, where underneath you can find the power, the USB-C cord where it gets plugged in, and right next to it is the micro SD card slot. So that is where those things go. That's also where the microphone is, because you do also get audio with this, which is great if there's like an altercation or an argument or something like that. So you do get audio besides the visual. Now the viewing angle is 135 degrees wide, which is pretty wide. It's not as crazy as some of these ultra fisheye perspectives in the GoPros, but it's wide enough, but not as super crazy, so it distorts everything, like it looks like you're looking through a fishbowl. So the viewing angle in my eyes seems to be very well chosen. Now the camera will automatically override the SD card continuously. When it's full, it'll start deleting the last files. The only thing it won't delete are the ones that are locked, that you either locked by pressing the Q button in the middle, or it the ones that automatically locked because it thought you crashed. Now, segment locking works a little weird because, so if you're pressing the button, you're locking a segment of 3 minutes, but it's not from the point that you press the button, because most likely if you had an accident and you press the button, how did you get to the accident? What happened before that's vital information. So usually it splits it in half. So just about when you're like it's 3 or 5 or 10 minute segments. So let's just say you have 5 minute segments. You had an accident, you hit the button. So it will probably show the 2.5 minutes prior to the accident, and then 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes after the accident. So it's splitting it in both ways a little bit, so you get to see how you got into the accident and what happened after the accident. So it's kind of a cool feature. It's a little bit like time traveling, because when you hit the button, it just goes back a little bit in time and locks that segment in time, so that you can find out how this all came to be. So I always wanted to have a dash cam for my car, but I ended up getting a dash cam for my bike first. So that I thought maybe I can, have this thing do double duty. So I had a GoPro mount on my rear view mirror, and so I just plopped it on there. You can actually still plug in the USB cord, the USB-C cord, into your cigarette lighter and charge it as you're using it as a dash cam in your car. So theoretically, just get this and you can just swap it from the car to the bike and use it every way you want to use it. So plus it's a light. I mean, it's a win-win-win. All right, let's go to the negatives now. The application is very easy to use, like for setting up the lights, the camera, the resolution, the segment times, all the stuff, but it does not let you view the locked files or any video clips that are on this device. To be able to see the video footage that's on the device, you actually have to take the SD card out or hook this up to a computer and download the files off the SD card onto a computer. So that's a little bit of a bummer, because sometimes I think people would just like to check out the videos right there and then when it happened or after a ride. So if the phone application would let you do viewing of the clips, that would be great, but it doesn't. So don't get bummed out when it doesn't do that, because it doesn't. They have the weight of this at 148 grams or 5.2 ounces. It's either my scale's a little off or not, but it's close enough. So it's not that heavy for what it is, and with the lifespan and the battery, yeah, no, that's for what you're getting out of it. It's a very small package. The one thing I hate about dash cams is how these things are marketed. If you're going to Cycliq's social media sites, to Instagram, it's just riddled with awful videos of people getting run over, almost clipped, and like accidents. It just makes you never want to ride your bike again, basically. So it's because of what this device does. It protects you from not having any proof of what happened to you in an accident if you get run over. I understand that inherently dash cams are associated with bad events. So I think there's a silver lining somewhere in there, because it's just, I think we need to connect dash cams with any events. And those events can be weird, fun, happy. It could be just anybody all doing some goofy in front of your camera and you're just, that was funny, and you just press the button. So I think there's maybe a better way of marketing this. Let me give it a try right now. All in all, I think dash cams are pretty neat. I'm psyched that I get to use this in my car and on the bike. So check out the Cycliq Fly 12 dash cam on their websites. They also make a tail light with a camera built in. So if you're interested in GPSs and what they can do for your safety, you should look at this video next.